to Facebook. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star review so we can continue to give you the ish that we talk. And now that is out the way, I will not act like I'm on AM fucking radio. What the fuck's the deal? All of you ugly motherfuckers. What's poppin'? I'm here with you. We here together. We gonna make this shit pop. Lindsay, what the fuck is going on? My dog.
Like, what will be a breaking point for you where you just like, you know what? I'm out.
Right. Yeah, so I was about to say this is where we asked the audience.
Yeah.
So
you already
said cheating, right?
Yeah. Cheating.
Okay.
So
Anybody else?
You're not giving a pass or nothing like that.
There ain't no way.
That's no way.
Do it once and do it twice. There ain't no way. You lose the second result.
So it's like if it's just cheating for her, like, so is it cheating for you the same way too? Yeah. So like if you cheat, do you feel like I need to leave this relationship?
If I would ever cheat, I would leave you first. I would leave you first.
You such a gentleman.
I do what I can.
You such a gentleman. That shit don't happen in real life, but you such a gentleman. Anything else?
In the moment.
In the moment.
That's different. I wouldn't be in the moment.
You won't
so
be
you wouldn't put yourself in the moment. I got you.
Yeah. Like, make it make sense. Like, because what's the moment?
When I decide it's the moment, it's the moment.
Oh, okay.
If I never say to myself, like, I should probably get out of here.
So, like, do the whole time you just like, oh, no, this cool. This ain't, we just chilling. She just want to rub my back. That's cool. Ain't nobody tripping. It's like, oh, okay. Okay, ooh. All right, you ain't got to kiss my neck. That's okay. Cool. This is not the moment yet.
Not yet.
It's not the moment yet.
I didn't do it.
So it's like, now my pants is down. This is.
She pulls them down.
Oh, this ain't the moment. This ain't the moment. This ain't the moment.
She did it.
This ain't the moment. So when is the moment? When you're done, you're like, yeah, this is the moment.
This sad, bro. I'm like, I was supposed to go to the store. I was gone for 2 hours.
I had to go get my bro,
that's
right?
The moment, yep.
That's the moment.
That's the moment.
Okay, so that's your.
What you
So this is cheating for you. Like, if she cheats, oh hell no. But like, I just had to wait on the moment. Like, no. That's ain't the moment. That wasn't the moment. No, she sucked my I didn't ask for it.
I don't say the words.
It's like, no, I didn't know. You know when I feel something wrong, baby, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. When she was like, I was like, maybe it's time for me. Ain't no restaurateur gonna run up on Keith Lee. Let's just end that shit right there. Y'all talk a lot of shit, but y'all not about to run up on. Ain't nobody about to run up on him, slap no food out his face, and tell him, bitch, what? Like, that's just not gonna happen to you in no way, shape, possible.
So Saucy Santana got in on it. He pretty much was like, tag me in, and he snapped on DJ Academics and told him to pull up. He was like, go to my page. We got all kinds of bookings. We outside. Come pull up at one of the bookings, and I'll beat your motherfucking
ass. Saucy Santana just doesn't look like the homosexual man that you gonna hit, and he looks like that dude off of Low Down Dirty Shame. He ain't about to grab his face and be like, oh, Bernard.
Him, you slut. Bernard.
He about to beat the dog shit out of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm laughing because it's gonna be so funny because you're gonna see a dude massively beating the shit out of a man with an open fist, and you're gonna hear bitch. Good evening, bitch. Bitch. Good evening, bitch.
bitch, bitch.
Hey.
Hello, world. This is the Ish We Talk. Um, we got the pleasantries out the way, but I always will and forever give a shout out to Twitch. Thank you guys for viewing us. Thank you guys for being the total outcast that you guys are, because you are the type of scum that I love to hang out with. You beautiful, 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 nasty people. I love you so. Again,
Wow.
this is Mr. We Talk. Um, I am Lily. I am your joint smoking, black toting, bad MFer that you see in front of you. I do apologize in advance. My allergies are on fucking 29 right now. So if I go mute, it's because I'm probably coughing or sneezing, but that's here nor there. The show must go the fuck on. I am with the top shelf, like I always say, the creme de la creme, the lady that pushes the bells and the whistles, the basically the hierarchy of this program, the monarch of this brand that we have called the Ish That We Talk, the undeniable, the outstanding, 6 foot of do-gooder, the one that you don't want to play with at a Beyonce concert. Let's give a round of applause for my cousin and also the co-host of this show, Lindsay.
Hello, everyone. Disney in Texas.
And again, this is the Ish That We Talk. Hey, what's going on, Lindsay, man? What's the deal? How's the work week been? How's your weekend going?
The work week was fine. The weekend's been fine so far. How's yours?
I'm just trying to survive. My girl told me I sound like Dark Vader this morning. I almost jumped up and karate kicked the wall, but I'm getting through it. I'm getting through it. It's just allergy
Yeah.
season. It really showed me, hey, I want to say a slow grind of you about to be fucked up, because it started off on Tuesday. I had this cough that I couldn't get rid of. I'm like, why am I coughing like this? Is this COVID? I went and got a COVID test. I'm fine. No COVID. I'm like, what's going on? I keep getting this cough. Then the next thing I know, I start sneezing real bad. So I'm like, okay, it's around this time. Okay, this has got to be allergies. My allergies is kicking in. Didn't trip off of it. Had a cool Thursday. Like Thursday was just like easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I was like, okay, maybe I'll be done with it. Then Friday kicks in. I get this sinus pressure headache that is so outstanding. This is the words I'm gonna use. So outstanding that I was irritated about everything. A nigga could have told me I won $1 million and I'd have told him get the fuck out my face.
Like, but here it is, all cash, unmarked bills.
I'm so the fuck what right now. You need to get away from me. And then today, I have my eyes feel like somebody sprayed mace in them. Like I'm talking about super watery. Everybody keep on thinking I've been high. This is the first time I've even been smoking weed today, because my shit has just been fucked up. I'm like, damn, like it's been a hell of a Saturday, but I'm getting through it.
Yeah. Well, it's close to the end, so hopefully you'll feel better on tomorrow. Do you take allergy pills or anything like that?
I don't. I think that's my problem. I'm too much of just a nigga to just be like, tough it out.
Yeah, I used to be that kind until I discovered the greatness of pain pills. And I'm like, what am I toughing it out for? What is the point in all this? Let me go and pop these pills. Does anybody have drugs?
I'm like, Jocelyn, anybody got cocaine? You got cocaine?
You guys
Because
want to go do some drugs?
great. I love drugs.
Uh.
Yeah. We all do cocaine. I'm just the only one that admits it.
Yeah, you know. I should.
Yeah.
I definitely should be on something right now. Like no lie, but I've been toughing it out. Like
Yeah.
I've been taking shit to like soothe my throat because I've been coughing so much. But that's it. I ain't got no sinus, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely get you something. Get you something because there's no point in toughing it out. Like, who you trying to be tough for? Who cares?
I don't know. That's just a man in me. So funny because Jasmine said, "Yeah, we go through this every year." She like, man, colds you don't get, flu never had, pneumonia you don't even know what it is, COVID never got the shit the whole time it was popping. She said, allergies though, yeah, that's your bitch.
Right. That's your kryptonite. Yeah.
I get that shit every year on top of the year, like boom. Even when I thought it was COVID and I went to the doctor, they was like, nope, that's just your allergies.
Right. You know, at one point we thought everything was COVID.
Yeah.
You know, you cough one too many times, up COVID. Your eyes water, up COVID. You know, everything was COVID or COVID related. It rained twice this week. Up, it's COVID.
It's COVID.
Right? What the hell I got to do with the weather? You know, we was experiencing shit before. Don't matter. It's COVID. So yeah. But yeah, well, hopefully you'll feel better soon. So, you ready to get into these topics?
Yeah, let's get into these topics.
Yeah, it's been a pretty light week. So, let's start with the ratchet shit, right? So, Sexyy Red, she was supposed to perform, no, not necessarily perform, but she was supposed to appear at a high school. And she showed up smelling like marijuana. And yeah, they rejected her appearance. So she got on live and she told the world how they rejected her appearance because she came in smelling like weed. Then she proceeded to like hang out with some of the kids outside and have an impromptu kickback. Yeah. So yeah, it kind of went viral. People were talking about it, had their own opinions. My opinion personally is she looks great with her new haircut and baby weight. Yeah. So what are your thoughts about this whole situation?
First of all, I love that you stayed positive this whole time with that.
I tried.
Yes. You did it. You did that.
Yeah.
And I respect that. I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, America, especially Black America. You know what you fucking sign up for when you get someone like a Sexyy Red to come to your goddamn high school. So whatever she did is to be as expected. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I know who Sexyy Red is. I know her lyrics. I actually work for a school. I actually work for several districts because I work for a private school. If we were to get Sexyy Red and she would have came in smelling like marijuana, I would have just told her to go to the back room. I would have sprayed her down and I would have let her talk to the fucking kids.
Yeah. I'm
not
like
gonna make a
that big of
spectacle
a
out of it.
deal. Right. Smelling like weed ain't that big of a deal.
Yes, it's not a big. 90% of these kids' parents smoke weed. They know what weed smells like. I'm just gonna I'm gonna talk to Sexy and say, hey, Miss Red, we're going to uphold a certain type of atmosphere when we're talking to these children. So And I would have allowed her to talk after that. Because after that, whatever she says, I know what I signed up for.
Yeah.
And
Right.
fucking
Because I'm like,
with
this ain't the beginning of the story. Like, let's start at the beginning.
yeah.
Because the beginning ain't even Sexyy Red if we want to keep it one. The beginning is, why are y'all allowing these type of acts to come and talk to the kids? Because I'm part of the population that did watch Blueface and Krishan's reality show, and they was making school appearances, and I didn't understand. I did not understand this at all. Like, this was not a thing when we were kids. And I get you kind of want to meet them where they are and kind of like relate to them and all this kind of stuff, but nothing about her music or the or Blueface and Krishan's music is something that we would want to praise in the schools.
Listen, and I totally agree with you. I'm talking about 100% agree with you. But I will ascertain and say, I remember when Rump Shaker was a classic #1 hit on the radio, had no business being sung by children. You know who had a school appearance at my school?
Who, Teddy Riley?
Not only Teddy Riley, but Rex and Effect. What was that? Rump Shaker, Rex and Effects. These
Yeah.
niggas was up there. I never forget. Hand to the Bible. I'm gonna tell you, and anybody listening to this, that's how you know I'm not lying. They brought me to the stage. You know what I recited on stage? I didn't even give a fuck about their song. I sung Mr. Boombastic, nigga. They call me Mr. Boombastic. I swear to God, I put this on my son. So
Wow.
I say that to say this. This shit happens all. It's been happening for 30 fucking years. People that had no business talking to kids been talking to kids. Because, I mean, when it's all said and done, it is somewhat of success that you want kids to strive for. You want them to strive for success. You don't want them to do this, but you want them to see somebody who you think is actually, I guess, culture appropriately made it.
I mean, there's so many other people we can pick from.
It is, but are they available? Because you know who is available for me? Teddy Riley and Rex and Effect.
So why was they even in Kansas City? Was it a show that night or something?
They were doing a show. That's what ends up happening. You do a show, especially, but I don't know how it works now. But I know back then, you got a show down here, and hey, especially with districts pay, and they money is up front and guaranteed. That's a cashier's check.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take this little $5,000-$6,000 to be up here, talk for an hour, and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, see, I would be along with it if it was just like talking, telling somebody's story, telling how they made it about the mud. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can get behind that. But from what I've been seeing, it's these performances. And that's where I'm like I can't get jiggy with that. Like like what y'all singing about ain't what we should be promoting in school. And I might sound like a prude or whatever, and that's fine. I'll take that, but still.
Nah, you don't sound like no prude. That's actually what they supposed to do because that's what they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, when Next came down here, Next also did school appearances, and I actually went to their concert. And I'm gonna tell you how Next. I will. I will say this: the group Next is probably when I was little. I don't know how they is now, but when I was little, these were industry menaces. These niggas got on the fucking stage at the school that they were in, and they were talking, and they was like, "Yeah, I bet y'all didn't know we was motherfucking brothers, huh?" Like these niggas. in the middle of this, because they wanted to let like nigga, we keep it in the family, bitch. Like this is what we
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but no, but
the cussing is inappropriate.
yeah, right. The cousin is inappropriate. But what I will say is, speaking back on what you were saying is back then, that's what they did. Like when Teddy Riley and Rex and Effects came down there, and I want to say it's Rex and Effects, and I don't want to fuck up the name, but I forgot. I know the song was Rump Shaker, but they didn't sing Rump Shaker. Yeah, they didn't do Rump Shaker. What they did was they
There's
talked
no way
about
they could've.
about getting an education and staying in school.
Yeah. There's
You know
no
what
way
I'm
they
saying?
could have done. There's no way they could have done Rump Shaker.
Yeah, they did that, and then they did the show off your talent shit. That's why I got to go up there and do
Oh, okay.
and do Shaggy.
Okay, got you. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean the closest we got to celebrity at Raytown was Buck O'Neil.
That nigga was everywhere. And
Where- And you know, he did a whole like school tour like a couple of
yeah,
times.
that nigga was everywhere. Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah, you get Buck O'Neil. Buck O'Neil was coming to your school.
You're right.
Regardless.
If you
Sometimes
didn't
Buck
do
O'Neil
nothing
would
else,
just be at your school without an appearance. Like he would
no.
just be popping up.
Right, exactly. Like, hey, I came here a couple months ago. I told you I was gonna pop up. Y'all doing
Shout
what
out
y'all
to Buck
supposed to be
O'Neil
doing?
because Buck O'Neil was a real one. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, shout out to him. And his story is pretty cool too. So, you know, sidebar, I may have said this before. I don't know if we talked about Buck O'Neil before, but did you know that there was a lady that wrote a book about him and her affair?
No.
Yeah. She wrote a book about their two affair. He was still alive at the time when she wrote the book, and the salon that my mama went to, the lady was like cool with the owner, and she wanted to like come up there and sell her book, and she had gave the owner a free book. Well, the owner was also a hairdresser as well, so she was letting everybody just read the book. So yeah, but that's as much scandal you're gonna get out of Buck O'Neil.
Right.
And I'm
And
sure
and,
that
and,
book
and
didn't
shout
go
out to Buck
nowhere.
O'Neil for just, hey, you still was a good dude, man. Everybody makes mistakes. It wouldn't for a lady to write a book about an affair means nigga, you knocking pussy out the park. So shout out to Buck.
Yeah.
It wasn't about no kids, it wasn't about no drug use, it wasn't about none of that. Nah, man. She was talking about she got good dick from a legendary Kansas City nigga. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Excuse me. Not even legendary Kansas City, just legendary. Period. The Negro League legendary.
Right.
Hell, NBL or MLB legendary. So yeah. So yeah. This was a left. That was a positive. Shout out to Buck O'Neil.
Let's swerve back to Miss Red.
Right. I'm not even gonna front. She is growing on me. It was a slow burn, but she is growing on me. Cause I thought she looked really. I'm sure it was a filter, but I was just like, that haircut is very becoming of her, and this baby weight is really making her feel out. Like she looks nice.
Yeah, she I will give Sexyy Red this. Her snapback game is incredible. Like
Mm-hmm.
cause she looked like a praying mantis at first. Like I'm just being 100 with everybody. She's long and skinny, man. That shit. And then she had a little pudge, like she still had it, but before when the baby came, she looked at like those motherfucking aliens off of Man in Black and shit. That pushed out that was running through the computer system.
Yeah.
So
I was getting coffee and shit.
yeah, that was getting coffee and all that. That's how she was built. So shout out for her body actually going into the grown woman that she's going to become eventually.
Yeah.
But again, speaking on the school that rejected her, like this is not, especially for the youth. If you were going to do something for our young men and women out here, and you wanted to get Sexyy Red out there, and you only shunned her off because she smelled like weed, y'all are doing a disservice not only to Miss Red but also to the children, because like I said again, you could have explained to her what was going on. You could have sprayed her down, and y'all could have let her actually go out there and talk to the youth about moving forward in life. Like, you know, one out of 1,000 of them are going to be Sexyy Red, but if Sexyy Red would have pressed education, it would have been it could have been a different story for a lot of those people.
Yeah.
I remember when because I remember when MC Hammer used to do school pops up in Oakland. He used to always tell people that they what makes him happy is when he looks up in his office and he sees his high school diploma. I think that, you know what I'm saying, that right there, regardless of him performing or saying anything to people in high school, will make people move forward. And I think that could have been one of those things that Sexyy Red could have done. So I don't fault Sexyy Red for coming in there smelling like weed, because you knew what the fuck you paid for. I fight y'all, or excuse me, not fight y'all, but I fault y'all for not understanding what y'all was supposed to do with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Because it's like you got what you paid for with her. I would be surprised if she came in there not smelling like weed. Like, you all right today? Are you sure you didn't take your medicine? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
it would have threw me off if she'd have came in that motherfucker sounding like a white woman. Like, yes, I'm here to talk to some of the malnourished Negroes in this community. Like, I would have fucking died.
yeah, that would have been a day. Because it's like, oh, so you fronting. All right. Gotcha.
Right. You'd have been like Future. Future do the same thing. Future talk about drugs. That nigga don't even take aspirin.
Right. He roughs it out.
Right.
Man, right?
Tough shit the fuck out.
Right. So yeah. Yeah, but I mean, those kids got their life in the parking lot. So
and I mean, and that's to be expected. And shout out to them kids for not for even doing that, for her to pop up and do that, and then, you know what I'm saying, things don't go haywire, because you don't hear anything bad about it. She just wanted to let them know that she did show up.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, you was about to say what?
I mean, just do better as far as who you pick, or give them things that they can and can't do, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because especially like say for instance, if she went to a school in St. Louis, well, St. Louis is in Missouri. Missouri weed is legal. So how was she supposed to know that she wouldn't be able to talk to the kids smelling like weed?
Yeah, because half them kids smell like weed in the first fucking place.
Anyway, they probably was her dealer. We don't know, but you know, like, how was she supposed to know? So just give her a list of things.
That bitch went and got a half by a 12th grader and walked right into the school like, hey, this that gas? Right. All right, I'm gonna be there at 10 o'clock, bro.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I'll meet you in the parking lot, in the senior parking lot, before I walk in. And didn't think nothing of it. And they was like, ma'am, so you couldn't at least put it in the car before you walked in? But hey, I don't know. So
yeah, she ain't. And evidently everything was all cool because she didn't get arrested. The kids actually got to see Sexyy. They had a great time. Which was in its own right is still cool. Like I'm gonna say that in its own right is still cool. At the same time, y'all want Sexyy Red to actually show her other personality, like the real Miss Red or whatever her name is. You know what I'm saying? And tell people, I'm just saying, like, maybe you wanted her to talk about, hey, you need to do this, you don't want to be like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes that shit is warranted. Like, I mean, I'm so grateful I went to African center schools growing up, because we had everybody again from Rex and Effects to fucking felons that come to the school and tell them like and tell us like, hey, you can do this, you can do this. I remember I had a lady from the military who was a nurse back in the day. Now this is 1997. I'm in the 9th grade. She said, I make $32 and some odd cents every 30 minutes. That's how much she was getting paid for being a nurse in the military. And that changed a lot of people perspective. I know that was there at Southeast with me, because a lot of them went into nursing after that because they were still offering that trade.
Right. Shit, I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? If somebody came to my school saying that, I probably would have reconsidered my stance on healthcare.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's
I still got the same sentiments from back then on why I wouldn't do it. But if somebody would have speaked that into me back then, I probably would have been like, let me revisit this, you know?
Yeah.
You just never know, you know. But we didn't
Right.
have too many people talking to us. Just period. They brought in Buck O'Neal. I think that was the only black person they brought to Raytown. They brought in a couple of white guys that it was just time out of the class for us. They weren't really talking to us as far as like the black people. You know what I mean?
I will give a real big shout out to the Kansas City School District at one point in my life, because at one point, I think 98, we lost our accreditation, so we was fucked up after that. But before 98, those times that I went to elementary and middle school, we had we had those same type of individuals, the individuals that you didn't think that was supposed to come up there and talk to the kids, come up there and talk to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So we had everybody from, like I said, Rex and Effects to Next. We had all TC people. We had felons. We had Kansas City Chiefs players. It was a bunch of people. I had a mentor named T-Lo. T-Lo was the hoodest nigga I knew. This is the only nigga I knew that would literally like, and I ain't downplaying T-Lo for this, but I'm an honest to God say this, and I put this on everything I love. I used to watch this nigga in his car drink some Thunderbird and then come in and then talk to us and really be on his shit though. But I always been a news. I watched mob movies when I was a kid, so I always wanted to be the nigga that was, know what I'm saying, that stayed out of that wasn't nobody's friend, because I was always trying to hustle all this old extra shit, and I wasn't even tough. I was just always trying to hustle. I was a weird fucking anomaly. So I'm outside smoking cigarettes, thinking I'm grown, and I used to always see this nigga drinking Thunderbird in his fucking car.
Funny.
I went to Atlanta with this nigga. This nigga, I don't know what he had to drink, but he kept pulling that shit out of his jacket. He was fucked up by the time we got to the hotel. You know how a nigga be so drunk his motherfucking eyes look like glass? That's how that nigga's eyes was. But this nigga had us in Atlanta like that. This nigga was fucked up in Atlanta.
The time zone and change.
Shout out to that nigga T-Lo, man.
Right. But yeah, yeah, I mean, and that's Sexyy Red. Yeah. So,
that booty me.
Bend that ass over. Let that coochie breathe.
That's Jasmine's song, man.
That's the only part I care about. I can give a damn about Drake. You barely hear SZA. Like, bend that ass over. Let that coochie breathe. Yeah.
Shout out to Sexyy Red. And again, I mean, again, I don't know. I might be biased. Again, I said this in the platform before. Sometimes it's hard for me to disrespect anybody from Missouri. But again, it wasn't her fault. I will honest to God say I don't care if she was from Albuquerque. You know what you was fucking paying for.
Right. That's 100. Let's see. Next up is yeah, so we just came up off of March Madness, which I think they are still playing in that tournament. Whether they are or aren't, a few days ago, LSU played and they lost. And so with them winning last year, LSU has had such a rough year since their win last year. They have been disrespected to the utmost. And it's still going. Even though these are elite athletes, especially when elite black athletes beat elite white athletes, you can't just leave it on the court. It goes, and then in America, it goes racial real quick. And it's been like that for the past year. So in the press conference after LSU's loss, Angel Reese, which was arguably the star of LSU when they won last year, excuse me, they asked her, questions and whatnot, and she, excuse me, talked about how rough it's been over the past year. Being criticized for every single thing that she's done. And all she's doing is just being a athlete. Athletes compete, athletes talk trash. It's all a part of the game. It's all a part of the game. But she's looked at differently because she's a black athlete, just is what it is. People have been criticizing this girl for everything that her white counterparts do that they had no problem with. The day that LSU lost, I saw several things trending on Twitter. One of them, a lot of black people was like, all right, we about to get ready for this racial uprising that's about to happen on Twitter because people are going to come with all the racial shit, and they did. That was not a lie. But yeah, in her press conference, she talked about how rough it's been over the past year, and she got emotional. With her getting emotional, people criticized her being emotional and start talking about how she needs to suck it up and it's a part of the game and there's no crying in basketball. Only part that sucks about that was that she wasn't crying about basketball. She's crying about all the bullshit that's coming along with her being in the public. Not only that, she also said that she was going to go on ahead and quit school and and put herself in the WNBA to be drafted. So one of the people that criticized her, which he caught a whole lot of flack for, as he should have, is Emmanuel Ocho. I'm just gonna read the tweet that he posted along with a video of him being on TV talking about this. I'm not gonna play the video for obvious reasons, but what he said was Black women have historically been the most marginalized group in America, but I'm going to give a gender neutral and racial indifferent take on Angel Reese. In sports, you can't act like the big bad wolf, then cry like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Again, that legit had nothing to do with the sport, what she was talking about. So, and you can't preface a statement like that with something that makes you present yourself of being aware of what's going on. So this is not ignorance. This is stupidity. But this is the difference between ignorance and stupidity. So he's stupid. Then I found out he's a tether. So then that's so that's a whole nother can of worms that we do not have the time to go down that rabbit hole.
Right.
But yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, once I found that out, I was like, okay, this makes sense. So because he's criticized a lot for his take on things. So finding that out, I'm like, okay. Then once he started receiving backlash, he started trying to reply, showing how much he's had her back over the past year and whatnot. But again, this is stupidity because you are putting yourself in a position to where you know what the hell is going on. And then you turn around and make such a fucked up comment like that. And people have been gathering him. People have been gathering the entire hell out of him. So yeah, so that's one of the things. So we'll start with Emmanuel Acho. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are this. Emmanuel, this is what you should have said. Two things were true. One of the things that were truthful was she has been receiving death threats, and it has been very hard for the women of LSU this past year. This is very true. Another thing that is very true is Angel Reese is a very feared competitor. Some people do call her a villain. So these two things are true. What you should have said was, great game. You just wasn't the best right there. Because at the end of the day, that's what it was. It was two fierce competitors. The first time you went at this, you went at Caitlyn, you won. The second time you lost. It just wasn't your time this year. That's what he should have said. And he should have ended it right there. To call her a villain and tell her that she can't cry, it's no crying, and it's you got to suck it up. No, listen, we just recently watched people cry. Oh, excuse me, I ain't even gonna say people. We just recently watched grown men that can literally kill niggas with their bare fists cry because they lost the Super Bowl.
100.
So, yeah, I will say 20% of her crying was because she lost the game. The other 80% of her crying was, it has been so hard for LSU through the whole chapter of the March Madness to even move forward. Everybody's been shitting on them. And that's how you break morale. They've been doing that. And at the end of the tournament, when I make it all the way there and then I lose the chip, yeah, I'm going to cry over that. And not only am I going to cry over that, I'm going to cry because I've been fucking distracted by everything that's been fucking going on. One thing about us as people of color, the shit that irritates me the most is some of us want to jump on the coattails of white folks so bad when we don't have each other's back. Like, I get it. Now I understand competition is competition, and that's what you should have left it at. When you talking about her crying, her speech and what she was crying about had nothing to do with basketball. So you shouldn't have turned it into a basketball situation. Right. And you were wrong for that. But this ain't the first time you've been doing it. You and Jason Whitlock is what I call top tier coons. Y'all can't wait to shit on black folks so y'all can get white people reviews. And that sickens me.
Yes, their whole brand is that. Their whole brand is to be the black guy that is not feared, that is accepted by white folks. That's their brand.
The things that you have said before lets me know that this is the type of character you are. This same person that called Angel Reese a villain is the same person that said, and you guys can look this up. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. It was I want to say a year or a couple of years ago. He had an interview with two other people, and he was like, I understand when white people say they it's no racism in America because I'm able to sit at these tables, and then I understand when black people say it's racism is prominent or something like that in the U.S. because I'm able to sit at these tables. And then you turned around and said, and I quote, "Me being Nigerian means that my people, my mother and father came from Nigeria, so I don't have the trauma that black people have." So you've already stabled yourself as, I'm gonna be the safe Negro. You said this. Y'all can look this up. You said this live. So you set a staple of, I'm gonna always be the safe Negro. So I don't expect nothing less from you on this point. But you are a coon.
And that's the part. That's the part that kills me about him. Because he set himself up to be this person, like I stated earlier, to be that safe person that white people can automatically go to. You know what I'm saying? He set himself up for that. Like, he has a whole series of I think it's called Conversations with White People About Black Men or something to that effect. But it's basically trying to put sauce on the Black experience so that white people can feel comfortable with understanding it. Like, he has a whole series of this. And it's like, it's a slap, and then it's a slap in the face, you know what I'm saying, for so many reasons. But on top of everything else, you're not even a Black American. Well, I shouldn't say a Black American. You're not a ADOS. That's what you're not. You're Nigerian American, which has that's a whole different experience. And I'm not adding or taking away from your experience, but your experience is not an ADOS experience. And on top of that, you're an athlete. So of course you're not going to be that Negro that they're going to look at in fear, because they love you. You will always be that Negro that has a seat at the table because of your athlete privilege. So what are we talking about here? You're not the first, second, or third person to ever get up and speak for the ADOS experience in America. What are we talking about here? You're not. But you put yourself in that position, and then you get mad when people criticize you for it. Then you wanna like, going back to what we're talking about with Angel Reese, you want to preface your point by acknowledging the marginalized community of Black women in America, to turn around and basically tell her to suck it up, Buttercup. How dare you? Like, what are we doing here?
And he was wrong all around the board. Like,
yeah.
But he steadily is wrong. Like, me deep diving into YouTube, he has said a lot of disrespectful things about a lot of Black people. That's why I put him in the category of Jason Whitlock. You do this for those white reviews, those white audiences, those white subscribers. You want to be the safe Negro, and you a big Black dude. So it's like, yeah, I need a big Black dude on my side, because that's what they be thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But you soft as a bitch. Like, you soft. Like, if right now, if they dropped you off at Angel Reese's neighborhood, you would not be toting the same fucking horn. You would not do it.
No.
Like, and that's the thing that bothers me about certain people, is because one thing I do respect about a lot of Black folks, that I guess for us to go anti-Black and don't say shit, don't say shit good about black folks. Some of them motherfuckers you put in the hood and they'll say the same thing. They'll stick to their guns. They'll die on that merit. And I'm gonna respect you for that. One person is like Candace Owens. I respect her for dying on that sword that she dies on. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I respect you. But I don't respect niggas that change tunes with, know what I'm saying, when they in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said with that interview I seen that he did either a year or a couple years ago, this nigga flat out said, "Hey, I know how to change, and this surrounding, I know how to talk, and in this surrounding, I know how to talk." You are not a nigga that stands on anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just want the recognition.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say something bad about it. Like again, let's just keep it basketball. I'll keep it totally basketball. Angel Reese was just totally bested by Caitlyn. Caitlyn is hands down the best female basketball player this year. She's been proven that. So it's no denying that. She's been proven that. After that loss last year, she didn't do nothing but get better.
Yeah.
So you got to respect that.
That was her motivation.
Yeah, that was her motivation. I will give her that.
Yeah.
What I will say is y'all not gonna downplay Angel Reese and act like don't nobody say nothing about Caitlyn being a fucking asshole on the court. That little white bitch, well, I can't even call her little white bitch. That big white bitch a beast.
She a thug with it.
And I was about to say she do way more. She talk shit, she throw balls in niggas' face. She don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But all that brass and bravado, it not only does it show off, it actually is paying off in her fucking career because she's great.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what it is. And that's what you should have left it at, is Angel Reese and LSU got bested by Caitlyn in Iowa. That's just what it is. Boom. Hey, I know what it is. Sorry that you're getting death threats, because let's talk about that. I am sorry to go left, but let's talk about that. A motherfucker in a interview tell you that they're getting death threats. At the end of the day, we have to think about this. Angel Reese is not no fucking 45-year-old woman who's been there, done that. This is a young woman who is just became a millionaire that doesn't understand why at the same time she's getting out as good, she's getting 10 times as bad.
Yeah.
So you don't think,
and let's just be real. Let's just be real about that. We're talking about a sophomore in college, a black sophomore female in college. So for her to even be at this level at LSU, that means that she's been an athlete since she was at least in elementary. So that means that she's probably had athlete privilege from wherever town she came from or anything like that. So she probably hasn't experienced that much on that level, the racism that she's gotten over the past year. So it's like it's extremely overwhelming no matter who it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just that she specifically talked about it in this press conference and it got to her, it choked her up. She shed a couple of tears, which that can happen to anybody. Like you said, grown ass men have shed tears for less. You know what I mean? So you are criticizing her, y'all. Now all of a sudden, it's barely been about basketball this past year. Now all of a sudden, y'all want to stick to the basketball when she's talking about some real shit. Huh? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? This goes beyond a damn game. Y'all know me because of the game, but this is far worse because of the game. And those girls in Iowa are not getting a fraction of what they're getting at LSU. Why are they the most hated? I can come up with one good reason. Why is it death threats for some people who have never even traveled to Louisiana, let alone went to LSU, let alone has any stock in this? Probably ain't even basketball fans, let alone college female basketball fans.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this, and I don't know if I'm gonna get slack for this because I've never been to college, so I'm never gonna act like well, I can't. I'll take that back. I've enrolled in college. I never just really fucking went. Um, but I will say this: in athletics, I want some of these, and this is my black conspiracy theories coming in. I just want some of our talented black athletes to start considering more HBCUs to go to, um, and consider that because once you go into these big name schools like this, this has been happening since I want to say what I knew about was the 90s, how college basketball was when it comes to black players. Um, it starts to become a race war. It always ends up being a race war, and black athletics on the college level when they don't go to HBCUs. Um, I remember when the Fab Five for Michigan was popping, how they used to get ridiculed because they were just 5 great black starting players. You know, like this, like it's been there. None of them niggas would have got any type of flack or disrespect if they would have went to HBCUs. They would have just been great basketball players.
But the thing is that I totally understand why they don't go to HBCUs. For one, a HBCU probably can't offer them what a state college can offer them or a public college can offer them. You know, another thing is that if they are that great, they are just now starting to play HBCU sporting sporting events on national television. You know what I'm saying? They, especially when we were coming up, they weren't doing that. So I get if
They
they
were
were
doing
like
it
that
on
big of
BET. They were doing it
on
on
BET,
BET.
on BET, which is
They
a
were.
college, I mean not a college, but a cable channel that is very niche.
Yeah, until they got
And they were
bought by
playing
white folks.
football. They were playing football on Saturday afternoons
Mm-hmm.
when nobody is watching.
No, people were
No.
watching. You got great players from
Prime time is not Saturday afternoon. These were not prime time football games.
actually is. Saturday is for
Saturday
college football.
afternoon, no. Saturday
Yes, Saturday
afternoon.
afternoon is for college football. Yes, ma'am.
And they will be watching the local channels that's playing the local state schools.
Well, yeah,
That's,
I get
that's who
I
got the
get what you're
ratings.
saying.
Yes, that's who got the ratings.
I get
But
what you're saying.
yeah, but so I understand. My point is that I understand why they will pick a state school over a HBCU. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I picked a state school over a HBCU. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. And I didn't even go to school on nothing sport related. So I get it. It's just over time it has, grown in popularity and it has changed, and it has been a big deal when a prime prospect would go to a HBCU, but that only happens ever so often. You know what I mean? So I get it. I can't fault the player for going to a state school.
I'm
And it
not faulting them. I'm just saying like we should start considering just because things of this nature happens.
mhm.
So
Yeah, things
because
of this nature do happen. And it's unfortunate.
yeah,
It's
because at the end
definitely
of the
unfortunate.
day, if you think about it, like um Angel, she was tired and broken, and she had just lost the game. So it's the emotions from there, and then everything that played out. So she was venting right then and there,
Yeah.
and it should not have got played where they're gonna downplay her. Like they downplayed her emotions and just said that she was a sore loser. Like
Hmm.
no, like that's not being a sore loser.
I know.
That's just her having to go through what she went through this whole past year since becoming a fucking champion.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
and it's not fair. It's not fair. It has not been fair. this whole time. You know what I'm saying?
It's like at the end of the day, we really have to look at the situation because she looks at it like this young lady is probably what, 20, 21 at best?
Maybe. She's a sophomore, so yeah.
Okay, so just put this in perspective. This young woman has got everything good happen to her within a year, and then everything bad that happened to her within a year. So that's a piece of bread, and that's a piece of bread right there, and she had a meat in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You don't expect her to crack?
Right.
Because now you don't understand. Like, grown people don't understand what it is to make $1 million and then your brother got to go to jail. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if you put that in perspective, just understand what it is. Hey, I became a national champion. I became a millionaire. I'm getting death threats. I got to move people away from me. I can't even be in a dorm no more. And then on top of that, I get ridiculed every time anything happens to me. I do Sports Illustrated. I get called a whore for putting on a bathing suit. Like, what the fuck?
Right. And then that's another thing, because not only was she like attacked for her race, but she was also overtly sexualized. Did you hear about that? Like somebody had did a deep fake porn with
Yeah, I
her.
seen that.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see the porn. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't see the porn.
Like, you saw
I
it?
did see. I seen that. Motherfuckers was talking about they AI heard on a porn shoot. And I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, so she's dealing with stuff that you can't even prepare for. Like, I don't care how militant you are, how pro-black you are, how many times you read the autobiography of Malcolm X. You can never prepare for a white person calling you a nigger. You can't. You can't. You don't. It's like an out of body experience, because you don't know which way is up. You don't know how to handle it. Like, it's so many things going through your head. You know. So just imagine, she just going on Twitter. She probably just want to look up what the trending topics. She's a trending topic. Oh, let me click on it, and the majority of it is hate. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. You can't prepare for anything like this. And then on top of this, a whole nother beast. This ain't like when we was coming up. We didn't have social media coming up. You know what I'm saying? She a trending topic on all she got to do is just go to the homepage and look up trending topics on Google or something, or MSN or something like that, and see her and see all this bullshit about her. Then she got to deal with this deep fake porn. Then she got to deal with, commentators constantly talking negatively about her. And all she did was pull a you on you. That's literally all she did, was pull a you on you to Caitlin Clark. And she is the biggest demon that has ever played basketball. That's insane.
And that's the thing, is like, the more and more I deep dive into this, it's like the more and more I just realize, like, they did everything to break this girl's psyche. When I say they did everything to break this girl's psyche, they even had black celebrities, instead of showing up at LSU games to root for Angel Reese, they were at Iowa games rooting for Caitlin. Like, they were top tiering Caitlin to be the best woman basketball player in college this year, to the point where they had entertainers showing up to her games.
Yeah.
Well, Angel Reese been having phenomenal games, but nobody showed up to her games.
Yeah.
So it's so crazy how she got blackballed, and she's a kid. She's not even a professional yet.
Right. It's
So
sad.
That's one of the another reason why I think this man Emmanuel is a goddamn coon, because nobody really addresses this shit. Nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
But I again, it's just one of those things for white views and to continue to get your white paycheck. It's certain things you ain't gonna say. But I would say this: I've yet to hear anybody talk about this, like about the I don't what's the word I'm looking for?
Tumultuous.
Tumultuous year the LSU period has been having.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then at the same token, just on our own accord of trying to be somebody who can actually trend outside of basketball. Watching her go through the things that she went through for this whole year, she ain't broke down this whole time. And for her to break down now because it's again, it's at the time that she's tired. The game is over. She lost, so she's emotionally connected to the game, also emotionally connected to her real life.
Mm-hmm.
You don't call her a villain. You don't shoot her down for crying.
Yeah.
You give her fucking flowers, man, and you move the fuck on.
Right. 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 So we have Tohi watching. Hey, Tohi. She says, hey, Lindsay and Lee. Hey, Ish Talkers.
What up? What up?
But yeah, like it's sad and disgusting. Then another part about it being so sad and disgusting is the Los Angeles Times. So the Los Angeles Times had a political commentator write an article, not a political, I'm sorry, sports commentator write an article. And this is how this was the title of it. It says commentary. UCLA versus LSU is America's sweetheart versus its basketball villains. Then he also says, this isn't just a basketball game, it's a reckoning. Picking sides goes well beyond school allegiance. Do you prefer America's sweethearts or its dirty debutantes, milk and cookies, or Louisiana hot sauce? What in the entire world of fucks?
Now, this is where people get mad at me. One thing I will say is it's the LA Times, so they're biased.
You can be biased and not racist.
I understand what you're saying. Now, the Louisiana hot sauce shit, that was pretty racist. Ain't no way.
Dirty debutantes.
Dirty debutantes ain't racist. It's some white dirty debutantes.
How is dirty debutantes not racist? I get the debutantes part, but dirty when the majority of the team is black and you're comparing them to America's sweethearts.
Well, if you look up dirty
like,
debutantes,
I give you the debutante part because we're talking about Louisiana. But dirty debutantes, how is that not racist?
I think it was just a play on words that backfired. I'm not. I if you look up dirty debutantes, you're just gonna find a bunch of porn.
And which makes matters even worse because why are we sexualizing these?
And that's the thing. Like I won't call it racism. I will say that they were sexualizing.
But you
them.
can't. But like you can make an argument. You can make an argument about how they're always sexualizing black women. You can make that argument.
Now you can make that argument.
Yeah. So whichever way you want to go with the dirty debutantes, it's racist. Then milk and cookies. Everybody loves milk and cookies. So, but why is UCLA milk and cookies? Like, I get the Louisiana hot sauce. I get that play. But they could have came up with. They could have been like California oranges or something. Shit. I don't know. That's the thing.
For me, I looked at them when it was like milk and cookies versus Louisiana hot sauce. I'm like, you niggas about to lose. Like, milk and cookies? That's some soft ass shit. Niggas is soft.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Niggas is soft. Them bitches about to lose. Them bitches about to get the floor mopped with them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can give you basketball villains because for the past year, what we just discussed, they have been the villains, unbeknownst to them. You know what I'm saying? Or not unbeknownst to them, but it wasn't none that they sought out to
Yeah,
be.
they didn't aim for
They
that.
didn't embrace it or anything like that. That was all they did was win a game, and now they're the villains. They didn't do nothing outside of the court to make them anybody's villains. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like what that what was they called, the Detroit Pistons that year when they was like the NBA's
Oh yeah,
Raiders
they
or
was the
something
bad
like that.
boys.
Yeah, the bad boys. It wasn't like them. You know what I'm saying? They didn't embrace this shit. This shit was put on them, you know. Um, but yeah, no. The main thing that pissing everybody off is the dirty debutantes. Which that's some racist ass shit. So, what was his name?
It's
Ben
some
Bolt.
sexist. I will say it's some sexist ass shit.
It's some sexist and racist shit. Because he wouldn't say that. I bet you he wouldn't say that about any male team at all. If it was UCLA versus LSU and it was the men's, we wouldn't have this article at all.
I
So
mean, yeah, because that would have been weird to be like, yeah, you up against Milk and Cookies and BBC. Like, what the fuck?
So yeah, he got Ben Bulch again. He's the staff writer that wrote this commentary, and he got slaughtered. He got completely slaughtered. So after he took his thrashings, he came out and he wrote a 3-paragraph apology. But people was like, how the hell did this even make it to print? Then they pulled up the staff. Not one black person on the staff. So yeah. But he did post his apology. I'm not gonna read it. Y'all can go read it if you want. But yeah. Just a bunch of mess. Like, I understand the error in my ways, woody woo, blah, blah, blah. But yeah. Did you have any thoughts about his apology?
Nah, I mean, because my whole thing with certain situations is if I knew I wasn't being racist, I'm not gonna apologize for that shit. I wouldn't have said shit at all. If I knew I wasn't being racist when I said this shit, why do I gotta apologize for being racist? I know I'm gonna stick to what the fuck I said, and that's what the fuck I said.
No,
It's
because you can be unaware.
I get unaware.
You have an unconscious bias.
Again, sexist I give to him. Racist I won't, because if you look up dirty debutantes, that's a coalition of color in porn. So he just made the wrong choice of words. But again, even highlighting off usage how LSU, certain individuals that play for LSU has been overly sexualized. And one of the main persons happened to be black. I can see where people were fishing for that, but it wasn't racist.
I don't think it's fishing. I think it was blatant. But I mean, we have disagreed before. So.
Right? Yeah, that's all. It's we gonna agree to disagree.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So, yeah. Shout out to the women at LSU, because even like their white I don't know why I want to call them band members, but yeah.
They're white teammates.
Teammates. I was about to say castmates. I am so not in the building on this. But yeah, even their white teammates have spoke out and was like, yeah, this is blatant racism. You know, what's been going on the past year. I'm not talking about specifically with the LA Times. I'm talking about what's been going on the past year.
Now, like, what's been going on in the past year has been blatant racism, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they were talking about. But this one in particular, she was just like, you know, I see if I do something how I get treated versus one of my teammates do something and how she get treated. Like I've never seen this stuff before, which white people are not aware of racism because they don't have to live in a world to where they have to be aware of racism. We live in a world where we have to be like we have to keep our head on the swivel. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that has to be in the forefront. That's not something that's brought to their attention until after the fact.
That is true.
So yeah, so I can definitely see her seeing this stuff like OMG. You know what I mean? So and then the stuff is overt with them. Like they are flat out using all the racial epithets. Like so they're not trying to hide this shit. But racist people haven't been really trying to hide shit since Trump. But that's a whole nother story. So yeah. So after that heavy topic. So J. Cole has responded to Kendrick Lamar. As we are aware, a couple weeks ago, Future Metro Boomin put out a joint effort, and they had a song on there called "Like That" featuring Kendrick Lamar. And in Kendrick Lamar's verse, he busts a couple shots at the top three, which people have been saying the top three is Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake. And so he busted a couple shots. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago on the show. So this past Friday, J. Cole put out a surprise album called Might Delete Later. Might Delete Later. And the last track is called 7-Minute Drill. And 7-Minute Drill is J. Cole's response to Kendrick's verse. Excuse me. This album and this song trended like a mug when it came out. Had people really, going back and forth. People was arguing with me about my little opinion about this song. So, or more specifically about this lyric in the song. J. Cole said in this lyric, your first shit was classic, your last shit was tragic, your second shit put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it. Your third shit was massive. So if we are talking about Kendrick Lamar, his first shit is Good Kid, Mad City. Second one is To Pimp a Butterfly. Third one is Damn. Fourth one is Mr. Morale and the High Steppers. So I feel like nobody has an argument on why Good Kid, Mad City is a classic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard anybody complain about the lyric, your last shit was tragic. Even though I like Mr. Morale and the High Steppers. But it's this lyric. Your second shit put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it. His second shit was To Pimp a Butterfly. And I have had this same sentiment since To Pimp a Butterfly came out. But the thing with Kendrick Lamar, not even with Kendrick Lamar, but with people in regards to Kendrick Lamar, you can't argue with people about Kendrick Lamar. You can't have a difference of opinion with people about Kendrick Lamar. So I didn't see nobody talk about this in a constructive way. I saw everybody praise it, and I was just sitting on my island. At least I thought I was on my island. Because with J. Cole saying this shit, pretty much got people up in arms. Half of Twitter was like, you tripping. You ain't got shit that come closer to Pimp a Butterfly. The other half was like, I'm been saying this since the album came out. So, and then he said your third shit was massive, which is Damn. Yeah, I mean, one of his best songs is on Damn, so yeah. Yeah. So I'll start with you. What are your thoughts?
Not just start with me.
Hold
Okay.
on. Before we start with you, old man 803 says, I subscribe. Hope y'all do great things with your channel. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um. Okay, let's start here. Let's not downplay J. Cole at all for not being a lyrical powerhouse. This
100.
nigga, J. Cole has always been amazing. Has J. Cole got the accolades that Kendrick Lamar has gotten? No. And he's talked about that before, but he's always had respect for them. Excuse me, not them, but he's always had respect for Kendrick. At one point, the world wanted Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole to do an album together.
Still do.
But then let's turn around and say this. Good Kid, Mad City. Fucking phenomenal album. Would never ever deny that. To Pimp a Butterfly. I thought that was a good album. But you know what I did listen to more than I ever listened to Pimp a Butterfly?
What?
The untitled, unmastered shit that he put out in 2016.
That was good. That was good. Yeah. For real, that redeemed him for me. Because I was like, okay, Kendrick ain't for me after To Pimp a Butterfly.
Well, he was just exploring his ways of what he can do with music. So I give him that.
But
now,
it was way too political before. And this is before woke culture. They say that he kind of ushered in woke culture with that album. But it was kind of like, it was low-key left field for me. And that may be my disconnect.
I give you that. Now, Damn was a supernova of an album. And it's only because the world pushed it. If you think about it, we only got 2 great songs out of that album.
What are your
You said what?
What are your 2?
Nope. I ain't even
Because I would say 3.
Would you say 3?
I would say 3.
I'm gonna just say 2, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not even gonna. Don't want to do it. I don't want to do it now. Mr. Morale and Big Stepper.
Mm-hmm.
I can't honestly give you a song that's top tier. And now it's great music. Don't get me wrong. It's great music, but I can't give you a song that's top tier out of that. Now let's talk about J. Cole. So let's do this. Let me look up J. Cole albums.
While you doing that, I will add this in because I was with Ashley earlier. And Ashley be out to lunch. And so I played like that, and I also played 7 Minute Drill. And so then we started going down Kendrick songs because she ain't really listened to an album of Kendrick since Good Kid, Mad City. So I went to Mr. Morale. She didn't know shit off of there. I went to Pimp a Butterfly. She didn't know shit off there. Oh no, she knew All Right. Then I went to Damn. She knew Loyalty. She was singing Loyalty. Then when I went to that Good Kid, Mad City, she was like, all his good songs are on this one. This is my favorite one.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah. I was like, well, yeah.
These were because that damn that whole album damn near all those songs he could have made singles.
Yeah. Agreed. Toby says, I like To Pimp a Butterfly. I honestly didn't get into it until Damn. I give you that. I give you that.
I can give you that because you like you listen to a couple of tracks and then you go back. So I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm. I've done that with a couple of people. Like I didn't know about T.I. until Never Scared. And then Never Scared, right after Never Scared dropped, Trap Music dropped. So I bought Trap Music, loved Trap Music, and went back and got I'm Serious. So I get it. She also says they are aware that if they say something out of term like Dirty Debbie time, it can cause a stir. Yeah, so it could have just been for publicity because when nobody thinking about the LA Times unless they said something crazy like what they did. So that is definitely a good point.
That gets the people going.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get into J. Cole. Like, okay, so I've been a fan of J. Cole for the longest. Again, I've said this before on this podcast. I've always been engulfed into music. At one point, I wanted to be a fucking super famous rapper, and I'm glad I didn't because I don't want to never have to explain why I know Diddy and I don't have penetration in my asshole. But that's nor here nor there. What I will say is this: J. Cole. When I found out, I started hearing him from Friday Night Lights. Phenomenal mixtape.
I can vouch for that because you let me borrow your Friday Night Lights.
Yes. Phenomenal mixtape. I used to tell motherfuckers all the time. And I was stuck on one of his bars that he said, man. He was like, they say you are who you eat, and I still ain't pussy. I thought that shit was amazing. I said, this nigga's wild for that bar. That nigga's a wild ass nigga for that bar.
Right.
Now, let's get to, all right. It's Cold World, The Sideline. Trash, but that's when the world found out about him.
You talking about the first album?
Yeah, it had 2 good songs.
Okay, continue.
I'll give you that. Now, what made him dope was Born Sinner.
Loved it.
That's what made him dope. Now, after that, I will say this. Forest Hill is a classic album. I don't give a fuck. Everybody doesn't like. I'm the only person that I know that likes Forest Hill.
I feel like I'm the only person that I know that don't.
See, me and you in a different type of boat because I love. He brought me back to 90s culture for that, and that's what I liked about Forest Hill.
See, my thing is that the first 2 albums I played the shit out of them. When we got the Forest Hills Drive, I played it. And I was like, it's cool. And I never went back to it. And then that one album came out, what is it, For Your Eyes Only?
Now, I was about to say now, For Your Eyes Only, that's a sleeper cell because a lot of people at this, I always say that was dope and people don't, people be like, I ain't never heard of it. I'm like, that motherfucker hard.
There's only one song that I was like, this is my shit. You cannot tell me nothing about it. And that's the only reason why I will play that album. And that's for they say my neighbors say I'm selling dope or something like that. Yeah.
My neighbors think I'm selling dope.
Yeah. Well, motherfucker, I am.
Yeah.
I am. Well, motherfucker, I am. Yeah. So your boy 7 says I like Forest Hill. Yes, I admit that I am in the minority on that. Like it just did not connect with me. So then after For Your Eyes Only, we get KOD. I can't tell you one song off of KOD.
This here is that kind of shit. My name is a nigga. Now KOD, KOD was nice from that was nice.
But this is the thing. This is my thing with both of them. With J. Cole, like I said, the first 2 albums I love, and they just, for me, it just went downhill. I just couldn't connect with them no more. For Kendrick, this is my problem with Kendrick, which I thought I was on an island until I said it out loud for the first time, and then people was like, "Yeah, you just hit the nail on the head." My problem with Kendrick, and it's my problem that I find that other people have, is that I get lost in his delivery. So I'm not paying attention to what he's saying. Like, his delivery is so unique and it's so dope. It mesmerizes you. And then like you're stuck in a trance and you're hypnotized by it, that he could be telling you to burn the whole city down and fuck everybody in your family. Just listen to me forever in life. And I'll be like, huh? Like, I don't, like, that's how I am with Kendrick. Like, I cannot pay attention. I have to actually tell myself when I'm listening to Kendrick to be very conscious so I can pay attention to the words that are coming out of his mouth. Because if I don't, I am getting lost. But he has such a dope delivery. Like, it just is what it is. That's my disconnect. But
I'll give you that. Sometimes you can do that, but then other times, Kendrick comes out and he has a certain cadence that'll throw you the fuck off. So I'm just one of those people that, like, because I think Kendrick is a top elite lyricist out here, but at the same time, it's like sometimes he's hit and miss. Because I've heard things from him, like especially when he's trying to do things with other artists. Sometimes it don't hit like it's supposed to.
Yeah. And you'll see some features and you'd be like, was this a money grab? Was this something that the label made you do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, it don't match.
And I can't say that about Cole.
You say you cannot?
I can't say that about Cole.
You know, the thing with Cole with his features is that you wouldn't think they would match, but they're a perfect match when you hear it.
Yes. Yeah. That's one thing. When Cole does something with somebody, that shit is a hit.
Yeah. Yeah. And he could just do the hook and it works. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did what was that? The London? No, Travis Scott did the hook for the London, right? And that was like Young Thug. That was Young Thug and J. Cole and Travis Scott. That was dope. But it's like J. Cole came out of left field with that one. You know what I'm saying? Then he did for Travis Scott's song Mafia. He did the hook for that. And that shit was dope. And then when he did that song with 21 Savage, that was dope. Like, it's like, okay, what? But then when you hear it, you're like, huh?
He's just able to gel in to what he needs to gel in to make a song a fucking hit. To me, that's just my opinion. When he does features, it's like I don't know if he like studies this rapper, so he can stay on his same cadence and the same cue, but he makes it work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I can honestly say that I can't say that about Kendrick, because Kendrick has featured on a lot of people's shit, but it ain't been hitting like that.
Yeah. And then sometimes he outperforms everybody on the song, because what was that song? I love bad bitches, that's my fucking problem. And yeah, I like the fuck, I got a fucking problem. Yeah. He outshined everybody on that song.
I mean, yeah, that's when he was still hungry and he was still trying to represent who he was out here. Like, again, shout out to Kendrick for really solidifying who he is in the game. Like at the end of the day, he's a top tier elite lyricist. Like period. There's no denying that. There's no denying J. Cole either. Let's swing back into 7-minute drill again, and let's say this.
Mm-hmm.
J. Cole wanted niggas to in my opinion. How 7-minute drill started, he wanted people to be like, oh, this about to be trash. But what I like about J. Cole is what he's been doing for years with people are asleep on is because they don't he's not the one that invented this, but J. Cole has mastered switching the beat up midway through a fucking song.
And see, he lost me when he switched the beat up.
Oh, it was the thing that got me was because everybody talks about certain bars, but one thing that got me is before he switched the beat up and he said, I'm gonna cry over you like you G Money before I pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And then that shit switched. I said, oh, this nigga is dangerous.
Yeah.
This is a dangerous MF.
Yeah, that was a good one. Tully says the only J. Cole album I've heard was For Your Eyes Only. I like Wet Dreams from Forest Hills and Neighbors. Yeah. The neighbors think I'm selling dope. So yeah. Yeah, as far as For Your Eyes Only being the only album you've heard, I will implore you to go back and listen to at least Born Center. If you don't listen to nothing else, listen to Born Center.
Yeah.
Born Center is good.
Shit.
Yeah.
He's got some shit. I ain't even gonna say I'll take it back to the warm-up. The warm-up was okay, but the warm-up was him actually what it was. It was a warm-up. It was him being nervous and being put out there in the spotlight because this is an introvert ass nigga, but he still was able to carry that into a beautiful career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just this is hip hop. You know, I love to see it. As long as they keep it on wax. I love to see it. You know?
I will ask this.
Mm-hmm.
With that diss track, how do you place it?
As far as between them two or in life?
In a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being ether. Because ain't nothing better than ether.
Nothing harder. Is no
from 1 to 5, where will you place this?
He wouldn't be in the top 5. Neither one of them would be in the top 5. Because we got, not only do we have Ether, we got No Vaseline, we got Hit 'Em Up, we got Mama Said Knock You Out. Like it's too many dish records that a plethora of dish records that we can pick from.
I don't know. I'm not saying put it in top 5 like that. I'm saying 1 through 5 though, ranking.
Okay.
Top like I said, 5 being like top rank, like Mama Said Knock You Out, Ether, all that shit, you know. But other than that, like ranking, what would you rank that as?
I would rank it a solid 3. And the reason being is that, which he said on the track, like, this is just like a basically a love tap to get you to back up off of me. And that's what it was. Like he said enough to either that you're at a crossroads. I can continue this, or I can go on ahead and let it ride. Cause it wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker, like to where you have to come out. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't go there.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the sinuses. But he definitely didn't do that.
Right. He didn't go there. I mean, he did some back-to-back shit. Okay. Or not even back-to-back. He did some charged up. He did charged up.
Yeah, he did some charged up shit.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm not mad at it because he's basically telling me, like, if you want to go to war, we can, you know, And he did it strategically too, because if we do in fact go to war, I'm not about to waste all my ammo now. You know what I mean? Because we're at the point where we could still dap it up if I see you. But if you want to go there, we can go there, you know. So
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a good 2.5. I give it 2.5, and the only reason why I'm gonna give it 2.5 is because it was effortless, and then he had a couple stab wounds. Like he had a couple stab wounds, but it was more effortless. With Kendrick, I don't know what got in his ass where he was like, you know, fuck the big three, it's just me. Like I don't know what possessed him to do that. But that's not even on the radar. Like that's you just speaking out of term. And I don't know if it's because of your fame or I don't know. Like again, I don't know what it is which made you do that because
I was bored.
yeah, I was like, yeah, I didn't understand why he was just like, I'm gonna just stir the pot.
Right. Because like fuck it.
Like
Because I mean, like I said, this is hip hop, and they have been speaking that the top three for X amount of years. You know what I'm saying? So let's go on ahead and figure it out. Because depending on who you talk to is who's the top three. Or who's ranked in the top three, I should say, because I don't think nobody's gonna argue who is the top three.
right.
But yeah, let's go on ahead and duke it out for that number one spot. So what's up?
And I can see that, and but it's gonna be real funny, because I mean, shit. J. Cole is one of those that he's not I guess what's the word I'm looking for? He never strayed away from motherfuckers trying to rap beef with him. He has always been on his Jay-Z level of subliminally slapping the shit out of people. Even when he don't want to give him respect. Like remember the diss he put down on what was his name, Lil Pump? Like
No.
that was nice, and that was I'm laughing at your corny little rap name. Like he didn't even I ain't even gonna say who you is, but y'all know who I'm talking about. This nigga said something stupid.
Nah, I ain't catch none of that.
Oh yeah, you got okay. All right, I'm
I'm gonna need you to send me
I'm
that
gonna have to
link.
send that to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say that to you because that was fly and like because I think it was Lil Pump that said he said something stupid about J. Cole, and J. Cole just made a song and just was like, he basically was telling him like, hey, check it out, like you on a trend right now, like I'm solidified, I'm a millionaire, I'm still doing shows, I'm gonna do this forever. You just hot right now, and then you had the nerves to shit on me. I've been here, so check this out. This is what you need to do, little nigga. And it was funny because he was telling me what he needed to do, like continue touring, doing this, doing that, and doing that. And then it was so funny because he turned around and he was like, because I'm laughing at your funny little rap name. Like he was like, nigga, you little funny ass character. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Like, why would you go against me out of all people?
That's funny.
Like, yeah,
That's
he told
funny.
him, nigga, keep touring because, hey, nigga, when that money stop flowing and no motherfucking record labels stop fucking with you because you ain't the buzz no more, nigga, what you gonna do, nigga? You gonna take your mama back to the hood?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what you about to do? Because I don't have to do that. That should have never happened to me.
Right.
But you just hot right now.
Right. Right. You're in the moment.
He started that shit off like, sit down, little nigga, let me talk to you. That nigga ended that shit quick and fast. That nigga did not respond after that. That shit made him sit
what
down.
can you say? I mean, what can you say at that point, you know? So yeah. So Um, I mean, it's a great time to be alive. Watching these rap beefs, you know.
It is. I don't want it to get no. I want it to be that kind. Like for me, this is like I
Mhm.
said. I'm still one of them people that is anticipating the J. Cole Kendrick Lamar album. So I don't want it to be where like they're like really rap beefing where they don't fuck with each other. Because
Yeah,
like nowadays, it's never gonna be no more. We gonna put it out, especially with J. Cole. It's never gonna spill out to the streets.
yeah. Now let me ask you this, because J. Cole wasn't the only person he talked about in his verse. Do you think that Drake will ever respond?
Nope. Um, I just really think people really need to understand that Drake is on a whole nother level beyond what we look at as lyricists. Drake is an entertainer. Drake makes all sorts of music, and then okay, well I'll scratch that and say Drake doesn't even make all sorts of music. Drake got a team of writers that makes him all sorts of music. Where this is beyond this is beneath him at this point. I just hate to say it like that, but it's beneath him at that point. For him to dive into that would make his brand look flawed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, like, come on, man.
I
I
don't
do
know.
not only do I do worldwide tours, I invite y'all niggas to my worldwide tours.
Facts.
You know what I'm
But
saying? I'm not responding to that.
I mean, I can see him not responding, but I don't think it will hurt anything if he did. I think his superstardom is so far beyond that there's hardly anything that will make people turn Drake off. And to be like, to keep it 1,000 out of the big three, Drake is the one I played the most.
Drake got more hits than the Beatles. What are we talking?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like he's the one I played the most.
like
I just
everybody.
stopped playing his albums. Like
Everybody listen to
I can't
Drake.
get with these last couple albums. I can't get jiggy with those. But yeah.
Everybody listen to Drake. My only fatal flaw with Drake is I want Drake to understand what it is to be a man and live in his manhood when he makes an album. Stop trying to make albums that only pierces the ears of people from the ages of 15 to 25. Like I really want a nigga, you are damn near my age. You should start making music like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't know what he's doing now. Like he came here a month ago and I was not moved to buy a ticket. And he had 2 nights and it was him and J. Cole. And I was not moved to buy a single ticket. I
You know,
could have
oh, even speaking of that, you know what? Speaking of Drake coming down here,
Mm-hmm.
I fucked up so royally and so bad. What I didn't know was that a perk of being working for my company is if the administrative part of the company, they get box seats at T-Mobile.
Shut up.
Yeah, I did not know this. And I'm so mad that I did not know this because nobody wanted the seats. I could have easily been like, I'll take them.
Right.
But I didn't know that shit. I didn't know until the very next day because that's what they was talking about. Like, you know, we had box seats today. I'm like, what the fuck y'all mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, it's the perk of working for the company. I'm like, I need to be up where y'all at because I would for free.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know?
It's
I
niggas that
missed
got their
out.
car repoed the very next day to go see Drake. And you mean
Right.
to tell me I could have been in a box seat for free?
Yeah. Do you know I missed out on seeing Sade one year because my dad's now wife, she gets like her company gets seats. And he called me and I missed the call and didn't call him back till probably like maybe like a week later. And he was like, "Yeah, I was calling you because I had 2 tickets to see Sade." I'm like, I would have went. I wanted to go. I was mad about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Some folks be having them seats.
you live and you learn. Now that I know, anytime something go down, I'm gonna be asking people like, "Are y'all gonna take them seats?
Yeah.
Do y'all want those seats? Like, tell me now so I can prepare.
Right.
If you don't want them seats, we about to put that shit in writing because them bitches is mine."
Right. Yeah. But you got to find a good one because we got so many tours that's happening this year, and only like 2 or 3 of them are coming to Kansas City. It's pissing me off. Like upsetting me and my homegirl. Like I'm annoyed. I was like, what's the purpose of winning the Super Bowl if we can't get tours here? Like, what was the point of that?
They coming. Wait till what's that soccer tournament come down here?
There's a soccer tournament.
Oh yeah, it's about to be a soccer tournament here. And so once that happens, we gonna get a lot of fucking tours here. Watch.
But that's the thing because that was supposed to happen with the Super Bowls. That was supposed to happen with the NFL draft. Like, why are we getting all this other bullshit that I don't care about? And I want to just go to a tour.
Because they have to turn it into a tourist
every
city.
single time.
So slowly but surely they turning Kansas City into a tourist city.
Yeah. Slowly. The coin or the keyword. That's the keyword.
Yeah, they're slowly turning into a tourist city.
Yeah. Okay. So since we are left at the moment, let's go on ahead and just round this shit on out with just making a complete left. We in a whole nother city now. This election this past Tuesday for question 1, how did you vote?
I did not.
Okay. Me either. But
I did not.
were you surprised of the outcome?
I was not. I was not surprised by the outcome.
I was a little surprised. So anybody that's watching that is not from the Kansas City area, we just had an election Tuesday. Don't give me the line about if there were even other things on the ballot. I have no idea. I only know about one thing and one thing only, and that was a tax that we're already being taxed as a Kansas Cityan. We're already being taxed for renovations that happened with the Royal Stadium and with the Chiefs Stadium. Kauffman Stadium and Arrowhead Stadium. However, they wanted to extend the tax, not increase it, just extend it for, I believe, an extra 40 years. And that is to get the Royals a new stadium, move it from the location where it's at now to downtown. Where it currently is about a good 10, maybe 15-minute drive on the highway, all highway, from where they want to put it. And where they want to put it, they want to tear a building down, put it on the highway, and just pretty much like debo people out the way to put it there. Now the illustration of the new stadium looks amazing. It is beautiful. However, where they wanted to put it absolutely makes no sense. But that along with doing some upgrades and renovations to Arrowhead Stadium was all supposed to be incorporated in this extension of this tax. And the people of Kansas City voted basically no. I think it was like 56 to 44. I think that was what it was. Like yeah. So they voted no on the tax. So now the future of both organizations could be up in the air in a few years. They have been in Kansas City since I want to say the 60s. Both organizations. They've been together since they've been in Kansas City. First, they both played on one field when at Municipal. Then they made the Truman Sports Complex, and they got their own respective fields. And now they want to split them up. The Truman Sports Complex is like the best idea that they could have had for both, but they want us to look like other cities and have an organization downtown. However, the way that Kansas City is set up, a lot of shit that they have done with the development of Kansas City does not make sense. So we can never look like another city. So yeah. But I thought it was going to pass. It did not. And yeah. I do you feel like they're gonna leave?
If they do, fuck them. And the only reason why I say that is I say this. I think the main reason why it was shut down as a total no is you are not gonna bully us into paying you any money. It's like we have stuck by, and when I say we, I'm just talking about Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
We have stuck by the Chiefs and the Royals through tremendously terrible years.
Bad decision after bad decision.
I'm talking about horrible, shitty seasons. And because y'all won a couple of championships, you think you're gonna bully us into giving y'all more money? Y'all got us fucked up. We gonna love you regardless. That's just what the city is. So if you don't respect the city for what it is and what it gave to you, because y'all wouldn't even be who y'all is if it wasn't for the city. The city made sure that y'all was good for years. If the city, I could see if the city said no in 1992, but the city said no after we stood by why y'all were drafting shitty ass quarterbacks or trying to get an old quarterback to bring the new thing back here.
Shout out to Joe Montana.
We stuck by you after George Brett had solidified a World Series, and then we went stagnant for 23 some odd goddamn years. We stood by all that shit. You mean to tell us you were literally saying, if y'all don't do that, ain't no telling where we gonna go. We'll fucking go then. You are disrespectful, uncultured, selfish, baby mama, baby daddy, and like you get the fuck out of here. We can do bad all by ourselves.
Yeah.
The fuck is wrong with y'all? Like
Yeah.
I don't understand the bullying. I don't understand the threat of if y'all don't vote yes, we could leave. Then leave. Like go ahead and leave. This is the thing that I don't understand, and maybe it's just me. I'm like, why would y'all even make this notion to be downtown Kansas City when how it was worded was voluntarily they would funnel money back in. So it's voluntarily. So if they didn't want to do it, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. So like they're basically saying, hey, check this out. We're gonna put our dick in your mouth and we're gonna tell you it's good for you.
Yeah. Right.
It wasn't no kickback. It wasn't no kickback on that. It was just a threat. This is what we want. And if y'all don't give us this, we might leave. We'll go ahead and leave then.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the part that it was like, y'all playing in our face with the kickback part, because it was like, I think it had something to do with putting them back into the schools.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why don't we just put them in the schools then? I don't understand why we need to go through the organizations to put them in the schools. Like,
and it's voluntary. So they could just be like, nah, we had a shitty year. We ain't giving y'all shit.
Right. And then guess who they gonna cut to give the money to them if the tax amount is not enough? But we supposed to depend on y'all that you may bring it back. Like, all right.
Yeah, I did. I mean,
Yeah, all right.
shout out for
And
the
then-
city. Shout out for the city for understanding that we got to stop putting money in billionaires' pockets. They don't need no more.
and then that's another thing. So you got these millionaires, these multimillionaires on the commercials, on the propaganda to asking for more money. If y'all really cared that much, then why don't everybody take $1 million pay cut? Let's put your money where your mouth is. Okay, we asking for this amount of money to have it extended X amount of years, but what we also are willing to do is willing to take a pay cut. But y'all continually paying for people. Like I just saw in the news today that they got another person. They just did another contract for another person. Y'all keep spending money. So y'all got it. Y'all got it. So what are we doing again? Why are we putting this on the Kansas Cityans?
Because that's what they do. They
Mind you, the Kansas Cityans that are still getting fucked in property tax.
You know,
Mind you, the Kansas Cityans that have a horrible school system. Mind you, the Kansas Cityans that have a terrible transit system, that have terrible streets. There's so many other things that we can be spending our money on besides another stadium. And the stadium, neither one of the stadiums are bad. I've been to both of them last year. Neither one of them are bad.
all right, they're fully functional.
Yeah.
All right.
They're not raggedy at all. They're good.
And even if you was gonna get it, like say for instance, okay, you just want a new stadium. It is so many places, and the surrounding areas of Kansas City and the suburban areas that you could have took, and it would have been fine. Why would you want to go into the heart of downtown, where you're gonna build a Royal Stadium? Say for instance, okay, so boom, say we pass this law, put this stadium down there. First thing that anybody who has any common sense will have to realize is the parking.
Yes. So that's one of the things I've been saying about, because you know where they was going to put it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you look at the illustration, there is one of those parking things, like one of those parking buildings that's next to it. But then also they got a walkway that's going over the highway coming from the Sprint Center side. So they was basically going to use the Sprint Center horrible parking that's already in effect and use it for the Royals game. Mind you, the Royals got over 100 games a year, not to mention the shit that be going on at the Sprint Center, the T-Mobile Center. So of course they were going to coincide. So y'all really going to make, and then on top of that, again, the horrible transit system in Kansas City, because of the way that they constructed Kansas City, that no transit system will make sense for the greater Kansas City area. So you really gonna have us fucked in the long run. Who gonna get to the fucking game? Like
if we would agree to this, like say if we'd have said yes and able to try and able to move forward with that, they would have quickly understood that the T-Mobile Center little bridge was not gonna work. So they was gonna have to start tearing down all those businesses over there so they can accommodate for 40,000 fucking people parking.
mm-hmm.
So people would have started losing businesses, and then in the fucking shit that they were saying, through discretion, the Royals was gonna decide who stays.
Yeah, and then this is the killer part about all that, because say for instance you're one of the small businesses that they decide can stay. Remember, they're right next to Westport, they're right next to Crossroads. They're right next to Power and Light. It's a whole bunch of small businesses all in those areas. Well, those areas, property tax is going to increase. So now these small businesses that don't necessarily cater to the sports fan is going to pretty much lose their business altogether.
It was just a dumbass thing. And then they were they were saying that they were going to put money back, but then any fine print, it was voluntary. So we're going to take money. Like, this is what I found out, which was baffling. They're taking money. They were going to end up taking money through this tax away from the school districts and the Kansas City libraries, and it was on the Royals' discretion to pay it back. And so, of course, they wasn't gonna pay it back.
Of course not, because who gives a shit? Nobody in the Royals organization has any kids that live in the Kansas City area to where they will be affected by not having libraries and not having decent schools. Because if they live in Kansas City, they more than likely are going to private. So let's just be real about it. Who is the kids that live in Kansas City? Black kids. Who is the kids that would benefit or would take a hurting if money is not funneled to the Kansas City school district? Black kids.
Black kids.
The same black kids that live in the city that they're trying to get out of the city because of gentrification. So maybe if you get the niggas out of the city and bring the white folks back to the city, maybe we would funnel the money back. Then again, black people are being fucked in the process anyway, because now they out in the suburbs, and now folks ain't gonna care about the suburb schools no more because they're gonna care about Kansas City because white folks back in Kansas City. So man, this shit was all fucked up from the beginning.
Like I'm glad that people were aware that this was a bad decision.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that my people of Kansas City really understood that. At one point, we got to stop sucking the dick of these billionaires.
Straight up.
If y'all want to do that shit, pay for it your fucking self and get the fuck out of my face.
Straight up. Straight up. You know? I mean, and then this is the killer part about all of this. Say, for instance, they would have gotten the money for the tax, right? Or from the tax. They would have got the agreements for it. And they would have built this ridiculously beautiful stadium for both the Chiefs and the Royals. That don't 100% mean they was going to stay here for forever. You see what happened with the fucking St. Louis Rams?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we do all this and then we're going to have empty stadiums.
Because it's going to be a fucking nuisance. That would have been a nuisance downtown.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, stop putting shit downtown. That's all I got to say. Like, obviously the shit don't fix if y'all got a whole fucking building on top of the highway. Obviously the shit don't fit. So just stop it.
It's at this point, man, like, listen, stop trying to build a fucking comic book ass city.
Yeah.
Just don't work that way. You know, it's just going to be a terrible result. It is only going to be catered to the people that stay downtown. And I'm going to just keep it 100. 60% of the people downtown don't pay attention to sports unless they're an athlete.
Yeah. Right.
So it would have been a lose-lose situation for everybody. The city would have lost money. Billionaires would have lost money. School funding, library funding would have been fucked up. And we'd have turned into a fucking shitty ass town like we was in the motherfucking early fucking 70s. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's keep the ball moving on being a real good gym inside of Missouri, because like it's a lot of IT jobs here that a lot of motherfuckers coming to do. This is a mecca for a lot of unknown celebrities. Like I know a lot of illustrators and a lot of writers that stay in the city, like, you know, because of what Kansas City is. Let's just keep it that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not saying that that it can't be a great sports town as well. It can be a great sports town, but the shit just gotta make sense. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole thing. The shit just got to make sense. The Truman Sports Complex makes sense.
Yeah.
What doesn't make sense is how the fuck have they been out there for decades and nobody has thought to build around that? Like, that's the part that really don't make sense to me.
And that's a dumbass fault.
Yeah.
And if you want to get more space, I mean, come on, man. It's Grain Valley, it's Oak Grove, it's Harrisonville. It's fucking.
Well, the thing is that they want to keep, like, a lot of the people that live here want to keep it in Kansas City, Missouri, which I give you that, because one name that has been thrown around, because Dallas has been thrown around, St. Louis got thrown around, but one name that's been thrown around is Kansas City, Kansas. And of course, Missourians are like, fuck that. But Kansas actually has allowed it money set aside for a major team, for a major league team.
It would make a lot of sense for them to deconstruct downtown Kansas City, Kansas, and put stadiums out there than it would be to do it in Kansas City, Missouri, downtown.
I don't know about it making sense, because that is like a dead zone.
Exactly. It's a dead zone. It's a complete dead zone. But you bring stadiums there, and then that's when the big bucks come in.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna come regardless.
Mm-hmm. I give you that. And then it's nowhere from Kansas City, Missouri downtown. So it wouldn't be
it's literally
it wouldn't be that big of a problem.
Yeah, it's literally a 5-minute drive
At best, right? And that's during traffic and construction.
Yeah.
I mean, but like I say, keep that shit where it's at.
Yeah, or leave, man.
Yeah.
Or leave. I'm just one of them people, like, nigga, Kansas City, Kansas niggas been claiming the Chiefs and the Royals forever. So if they went to Kansas, ain't shit gonna change.
No, not a logo is going to change. They'll fuck around and keep the same PO boxes. That's how much of a change it's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a metro argument, but outside of the metro, folks think the shit is in Kansas anyway.
Yeah, fuck that shit is in the out, and it ain't even Kansas City. It's in the outskirts of Raytown and Independence.
No, well, technically it's Kansas City.
Area code wise, but it's more Raytown, Independence. I live over here. I stayed 10 minutes away from this bitch.
I grew up over there. When we went to Raytown, technically our address was Kansas City. It was over there.
I get that. I understand that. I literally stayed, and I know this area. I drive through that shit because I love back streets. I take back out through that shit. That shit is Raytown, almost Independence.
If you want to say that, if you want to generalize the area, sure, but no. Sure, maybe, but no.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that. I mean, this area code wise and shit like that, but I'm saying the area, period, where that shit is. Yeah, man, come on.
Yeah,
fuck out of here. I can literally just go down 63rd and then and take a left and hit the stadium.
Yeah,
and that's Raytown.
You got to drive through
Raytown to hit the stadium.
You got to drive through Raytown, but you're gonna hit the "You are now entering Kansas City" sign before you hit the stadium. I'm telling you, it is Kansas City, but it is where Independence and Raytown and Kansas City meet.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's on the Kansas City side.
My
But
mother
it's
stays
all
in
the,
the
it's all the
area.
same zip code. It's all
My
six.
mother stays in the area where everybody else be like they in Lee Summit, but where my mother is, it's Kansas City, and she sticks
Yeah.
to that. And I'm like, her next door neighbors are literally Lee Summit.
Yeah, I get all that because like when we moved to Raytown, like I said, technically our address was Kansas City. We had the same zip code as the sports complex. It was 64133. 64133 has a post office in Raytown. So if you say Raytown, it'll get to us. If you say Kansas City, it'll get to us. But no, it was a Kansas City address. So I get it. It's in that area where it's all like, okay, no matter what you put on it, it'll get to us. But if we're being technical, it's Kansas City.
Yeah, but it's still right there where it should be,
Yeah.
basically. Where the fuck it should be.
Right,
Out
right.
of the fucking way.
I get it because I thought it was weird when you first moved out there because we was in the Raytown school district and we was up the street from Raytown Middle. Raytown Middle is Kansas City. So yeah, it's weird, but yeah.
I worked for, it's so crazy because I worked for Sherwood Elementary at one point in my life, and that's a fucking Raytown school district. And you know what's so crazy? The Independence Walmart is right across the street.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, how in the fuck is this happening right now?
Yeah, yeah. But same thing with Van Horn. Van Horn is a Kansas City school, but it's Independence. And that's in Independence, like
Yeah.
in the old school Independence. But yeah, it's weird. I get it. That's why I used to get so offended when people would tell me I lived in Raytown because I did not want that. But at this point, I just be like, yeah, my mama house out in Raytown.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Yep, but that's that. So yeah, that's a little local news rant that got us over 2 hours. So yeah, we throw that in there every now and again. Yeah, so I guess I have a final thought tonight. My final thought is I feel like I'm at a point in life that I just don't give a fuck about getting along with people.
Okay.
And it's okay. It is okay. And I'm not talking about necessarily just like random people or anything like that. I'm talking about like people you're supposed to get along with, people you're supposed to have a relationship with. Like, I just don't give a fuck no more. It just is what the fuck it is. Especially like when you were younger and you wanted to have certain relationships, but you were the only one that was putting in the effort to have those type of relationships. And it just did not pan out. And it's just, I don't care no more. And I've been not caring, but I feel like I'm old enough to say I don't care. And I can say it. I don't care. It is what it is. But yeah, that's my final thought.
You know what?
On a positive note, yeah.
It's so funny that you did that. I don't know if it was like in the way the cards played out, but my final thought is similar to that because I was going to talk about relationships and things with people. One of my nieces, she had posted. I don't know if it was a couple of days ago or yesterday or whatever. I just seen the post today and I wanted to comment on it. She was saying how a couple of people in our family have passed and we have such a big family and we're not connected. And she wanted to get connected. She put a couple of people's names out there that she wanted to make sure that they kept her posted and connected with the family because And she says, we have a big family, but nobody really fucks with each other. My thoughts about that is this. I've been knowing that for a long time that we have a huge family. What I've also known was that motherfuckers don't fuck with you when you ain't either agreeing with them or making them the quote unquote leader of certain things. Like people don't like you to be your own person. And that's so fucked up with family, but that's how family is. And a lot of people see that late in life, and then a lot of people see that early in life. I just happen to be one of those people to see seen that early in life. Watching how other family members played other family members. And so I'm just a dude that will say this. Shout out to my niece Shay. And I hope that everybody in the family do connect with you and y'all do have a great relationship. It's never worked that way for me. I was always the dude that nobody really wanted to fuck with because I was a different type of individual. I'm weird. I like to read comic books. I like to stay out the way. I don't like to involve myself in gossip, and I don't like to talk about people that I'm gonna be looking at in the next 15 minutes. Those are the things that you're gonna have to take heed of when you start dealing with a lot of family. Because the thing about family is they think that word ties them to each other. And that's a fucking lie.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you are a family doesn't mean that I fuck with you. Because family sometimes is a bad deal. Like, I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. Sometimes family is a bad deal. Sometimes fucking with family, you're always gonna fare badly. Sometimes fucking with family, you always gonna be in some shit you don't want to be in. Sometimes fucking with family, and my family can attest to this, fucking with family put you right in Forest Hill.
Hmm.
So what you have to realize is who you fuck with in general. Water ain't thicker than blood, and blood ain't thicker than mud, and all that old extra shit that people be trying to say. But what I will say is the people that always had your back relentlessly through your life is the people that you supposed to fuck with, and that's your family. I don't give a fuck if it's the bitch that stayed down the street that was always cool with you, or it was a nigga you met in college that y'all still remain tight. That's your family. That's the motherfuckers that you really want to rely on, because them the motherfuckers that actually got your back. And that's just my opinion. That ain't everybody else's opinion, but that's just mine. The motherfucker that you can actually call at 3 a.m. and they answer the phone, that's your family. Not your cousin that you ain't talked to in 5 years, because they don't know who the fuck you is. So pay attention to your surroundings and pay attention to the people that's taking care of you in that moment, so you'll understand what your family is. And so you don't have to look for certain shit. Because I ain't never going to look for nothing. I hate to say it like that, man. I love my family to death, but I know the whole side of my daddy's family, I do not know. I probably know maybe 13% of them. And it's a lot of them niggas.
Yeah.
With my mother, with them, they got origins from Oklahoma to Arkansas to everywhere in the world. So I don't know half of these people. I just hear about people taking family trips to go see people in Timbuktu, whatever the fuck, Louisiana. So I don't know half of them people, but I do know that I got people that I call my family, that I can call them on any given Sunday, and they'll answer that phone. And that's all I need. I don't need to know the rest of you niggas if you niggas don't need to know me.
Right.
And as always, take care of yourself and others.
Yes. So yes, that was Jerry's final thought, and thank you for that. So this was episode 118 of the Ish We Talk, and we will see you guys for episode 119. Bye.
Exactly.